let's talk for a few minutes. You guys know I've got a metal shop. It's 30 feet deep, 40 feet wide. This is the back side of the shop. I had it originally built to where when I built the shop, I had this overhang, which is like a carport, lean-to, carport, whatever you want to call it. It had gravel in here. I used to park my equipment behind my shop. Had a concrete company come in, concrete the whole pad. I thought I would be happy, but I am happy with their work, trust me. But I've got storms that come in from this side of my property, the west. High winds and storms in the spring. So I also needed more room. So now I'm going to enclose this and change this into, I've told you guys before, into my machine shop. Basically my welding, grinding, and machining and fabrication. I could put a bigger fabrication table in here because this is just about 12 foot wide, 40 feet long. All right, so I'm going to close that end there and then put I don't know if I'm putting big French doors in here or just a smaller roll-up door here. I'm going to finish this part last. This part at the other end I have to do first. Once this wall is enclosed, move my mini split onto the outside of that wall. I'll have an AC guy come in. I'll hang it and all, get it all ready for him just to move the unit and run the wire and the refrigeration lines for the mini split onto that wall. And then this side of the shop will be clear. Easier for me to wire because my power comes in here. My box is behind that wall. I could come right out of that box and wire up my 220, whatever I need on this side. So if I have a lathe, my welders, all my plugins really would be on this side. The lights would be on this side. And so anything I need electrical for will all be on this wall. And this wall here I can have to where I can have stuff roll on wheels, do fabricating, and when I'm going to grind stuff, open up that big door. I'm not going to have any windows in this side of the shop. No windows. I can open up that big door, put some fans right here, and blah. That's my exhaust fan for my paint booth. I'll build a filter system for that later so that it blows straight out that way too. All right, so this side here, I keep my equipment. I enclose the outside here so I can park. Put a gate up. And this here, I got a nice parking area here at the, I don't know what that is, maybe 20 feet wide by 30. Actually, it's probably about 40 feet wide this way. And deep, probably about, let's see, 15 feet deep. Well, I'm not going to measure it. You can just look at it. So what I need to talk to you today about is if you're getting a metal building built, be there on the day that they're doing your building. And if your concrete is poured, look, this is the original slab. You can see the edge from my building. All right, that's the original slab, that line right there. My building didn't come up to the edge, it came in. So these metal buildings, you will have a water problem of leaking and stuff. But if you're there that day before they put the outer skin, now, in my shop, the backside, that's the original. This is done to match my house. It's got stucco and a brick all the way around it. Except for the back. The back is going to look like this. Actually, I got dark brown to match all the trim for the back walls and that wall. Now, originally I was going to reframe these two parts in with metal. I can weld, I can do whatever. And I said, I'm going to do that for. I can build it faster, cheaper, treated lumber, shot down there, and go over here. Now, I have a problem. But there's a cure to this problem. Let's walk over here. When they originally built this shop, see, that was gravel on the inside. I had a ledge put up all around it. I'll show you over here, you can see better. there was gravel in the inside. There you see. I had like a retaining wall poured all around the slab. This sat on that, and there was gravel in the inside. You know, sometimes you do what you do. Now, my problem is going to be the same as having a shop like I'm trying to warn you about. When you have your siding up here, if you're not here when they put the buildings up, the siding will go on. Water, your slab will not be perfectly. Mine's pretty good, but you see that line right there? That's where the tubing meets the concrete. Water will find its way in, seep into your shop. That's how it gets in. Now, the sheet metal's on the outside. You think, oh, I'll just caulk on the outside of sheet metal. That never works. What you need to do is use a good butyl or silicone. Lay a bead here before they put the skin on. Right, now I'm going to do that, but I'm so anal about water because I used to get water in my shop and it ain't happening. I'm not going to let it happen again. Look, you can see where I used some roofing stuff there through the years. I've had the shop 4 years. Water would get on here, the wind would be blowing, it'd pool up in uneven spots, or follow this line that they cut these expansion joints. Follow them and find a way into the building. Water will find the weakest link, trust me. Now, what I have done, I've gone to a metal supply, right? That supplies you the barn tin, and they don't supply these, but they supply for everybody doing pole barns or red iron. I'll give you the exact name of this, but look, I gave them the dimensions. I said, I need 4 foot high, 4 foot out, and I want a 4 foot drop. So I'll caulk this. Ooh, that sounds like a New Yorker, didn't it? Caulk. So I'll caulk this, put this up, screw it in, then I'll lay my metal up. So that's what we're doing today. I'm only going to do this long side, and then I'll do that other side. I'll order more when I do this. Now, it also requires, I will show you in a second in the manual, they want you to have 3 inches of where each one overlaps each other or tucks into each other. 3 inches. That's what they're calling for. So that's what we're going to do. I'll pre-drill a couple of holes here, and I'll drill there, put a few screws here and there, and start laying them out. Then we'll put 1 layer of sheet metal up, and you'll see how it comes out. How's that? Hang with me. Let me go and show you the technical manual of this and where I get it from. Give me a second. This is where I buy my supplies from for metal buildings. It's called MPI, Metal Panels Incorporated. You can go online. There's a website, metalpanelsincorporated.com. They service Tulsa and Kansas City. Well, yep. And you can order from wherever you're at, and you can order in 3 or 4 days. You could actually drive here and pick up the stuff. So we're going to open it up to a certain page here so I can show you what it is we were looking at. But this is a great tech manual for anybody that's never done this. It shows you measurements. It tells you how to do it. So go online. All this is online also. This is their color sheet of all the different metal panels you can get. Here it is. All right. This is called base trim. And it gives you an installation guide right here. It says a minimum 3-inch overlap. All right. There's a good picture of how it's going to go. I got a 4-inch, so I went 4-inch, I went 4-inch, and 4-inch. It's just simple to get the measurements on the phone to the gal, so I was afraid of screw-ups. See how the fastener will go a little higher, and we'll put the metal up, all right? So, if I was to do this again and have a metal building built, and you look around the internet and you look around some videos, you'll see. This concrete should be flush with here. That way your panels can go down past, and the water will just go straight down and So that if you have a slab poured and it's taller than the ground, like mine is, you won't have a water problem. Because with the metal sheathing on, it'll go past this. They do it on pole barns too, all right? It goes past. So this is my solution since I have basically a curb. This is how we're gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna use two different caulks, but use a good silicone you can, or I find that this works very well. Self-leveling sealant for concrete to go between there and there, then this will go up. Because this adheres to concrete extremely well, it stays flexible. It's made to fill in expansion cracks, all kinds of stuff. So that's my best friend here. And then I also have a good butyl caulk. I'll lay a bead down here or underneath and stick this right on there. And then this just overhangs. That way water doesn't migrate its way up. It won't. The metal panel will go here. You'll see once I mount a metal panel. I'm going to put these all up, as many as I have. Then I'll start the metal panel here and work my way straight down with what materials I have today. So let me get going. I've already started to drill a hole here. I'm putting these self-drilling screws in, one on each one. And also when you get it from MPI, they put a thin plastic on top of these to keep these nice. I think that's pretty damn nice. Keeps stuff from scratching. Now, you know, who am I kidding? This is a shop. It's gonna get scratched up in the future. Mowing and weed eating and all that stuff. So let me shut this off, get to drilling. I'll show you once we're done here and we start the process. One more important thing, I can't remember if I mentioned it. Before I did this, I cleaned and blew out all the edging. I used my cordless. If you got extension cord ones, whatever. I happen to have a cordless one. Put a wire wheel on it, and I cleaned all the concrete that went all the way down here. So that way I've got a clean surface to put the adhesive down and put that on. So hang around, let's get this thing started. Well, that's it for today, man. I think I worked out here about 3 hours. I ground stumps the first half of the day with my son. Saturday, he was off from the fire academy, so he had a couple of jobs. We did a couple of his, a couple of mine. Wonderful day with him. And I came home, ate some lunch, and did this. So we got the bottom sill done on this run. We got 3 12-foot panels up by myself. Listen, this is a little tricky. I use clamps right there when you're working by yourself. And this here, you know what this is, a spring-loaded punch. It helps. I go around, maybe try to get everything lined up in line. And I pre-punch them, and then those panel screws go right in. Otherwise, they can wander on you, and you don't want that happening to you. So I put them in all the way around, except for this top row, because the next panel goes up. I'll keep him in line. I'll probably have to call my brother in, or my son maybe next weekend for an hour or so to help me put up another 3 panels. So once again, we're starting to close up the machine shop area. So this will be quite a long build because, you know, I'm like you. I'm just the guy next door.